exploring all sides of the arguments as far as the JNU fee hike is concerned. At once it will appear as if this is just a local JNU issue. No, it's a very important issue, because what had happened initially, the JNU fees, and that too the room rent, was increased. The single room from 20 rupees per month to 600 rupees per month. Huge increase, right? The room rent for a double room, well, we'll flip this. For the double room it was 20, for a single room it was 10. So these are the single room rates. I apologize for that mistake in the graphic. The service charge, which was nil earlier, was increased to 1700 rupees per month. And this is what has had students up in arms. One-time mess security was increased from 5,500 to 12,000 rupees. These are all the key increases that were done. Obviously, students were up in arms. They did not take kindly to this. What happened? Students protested against the anti-student policy. They said that the fee hike will affect overwhelming number of students. They say that the fee hike crushes the dream of equality, that there are many who come from a poor background and they cannot afford this exorbitant increase. Protests grew violent. Some protesters were even detained. Hundreds of students clashed with the police. Batons, water cannons, all of them were used to control the policemen. Then what happened? Earlier today, the JNU announced a partial rollback. The JNU VC said, major concessions based on student feedback. The JNU administration appeals to the protesting students to resume their academic activities. Made it sound as if all has been resolved and there is a major concession or a major rollback. Now that has not been taken kindly by the protesters. They say that they will not compromise. Why? Because they say tweeting is not dialogue. There was no dialogue, you just tweeted. They said that the Vice Chancellor and the HRD Ministry should talk to us. There is no information directly conveyed to us. We want complete rollback. Trying to speak to administration, but there is no response. They also say that the Vice Chancellor is not willing to talk and he is very stubborn. Fee hike, a common issue for all students, and we are rising above politics. These were the comments that were made by the Students' Union leaders as well as other students in the Jawaharlal Nehru University. Now this has found resonance not just in JNU but other universities as well. But to discuss this further, I have three people with me. Aishi Ghosh, who is the president of the Jawaharlal Nehru University Students' Union. I have Ejaz Radar, he is the former General Secretary of JNU SU. And Deshratan Nigam, he is a political analyst, joins us from the national capital. Let me first begin with you, Mr. Deshratan Nigam, because I've given out the version of the students, so I'm going to come back to them in a bit. I want to know from you, when they say that they need a complete rollback, what is the argument in favor of an increase? Would you or would you not agree that a 300% hike was exorbitant? I mean, you can't just suddenly increase the fees after 19 years by 300%.
See, I think that is where the JNU is at fault. If you look at it, if they had done in, there's no fee hike in last 10 years and room rent since last 30 years. So if they had done periodically over a period, every year some kind of a minor increase, I think nobody would have felt the pinch. But when you you sleep over a period of time and then suddenly make such huge increases, then people certainly feel it. Now, the other aspect is university has its limited finances. Everybody knows that. There is a gap of between the expenditure and the income. And that is, if you look at in absolute terms, this fees may not look much. When you compare with Delhi University, there is fee is much more. Poor students also go there.
Let me take that to Aishi Ghosh as well as Ejaz. Aishi and Ejaz, you heard what Deshratan Nigam had to say. He feels that, compare this to other universities and you will realize that this is extremely subsidized. Would you agree with the point that he is making, that you should have gone for a gradual increase instead of an exorbitant 300%? Aishi?
No, in any ways not. The thing is, the matter is of safeguarding public education, and at this moment, JNU as in public education system, they're following the pattern that JNU follows majorly is about how the MHRD UGC has been funding JNU, and what is the system of public education is having education for all. That is what JNU supports. And today the fight within JNU is not only about JNU, it's about all central universities, all universities which is talking about giving higher education. And what we are talking in JNU is about all universities throughout the country, that education should be affordable and accessible for all communities, coming especially from the marginalized section, the women, the marginalized section, the minorities who are ghettoized and not are able to access education in equitable forms.
Okay, Ajaz?
So, see, whatever is happening in JNU is a consolidated attack on the idea of public education, and we in JNU each and every time demand that right to affordable hostel should be a part of right to education. And whatever is happening in JNU, whatever Nikam Desh Ratanji is saying, even the Vice Chancellor in JNU has spread a kind of anarchy in JNU. He is even not ready to talk with the student union. Students are in the roads from last 3 constant weeks, students are on the roads, but the Vice Chancellor is not even listening to the students. Today there was a EC meeting in JNU, and Vice Chancellor, even we did not know where he conducted the EC. The people and even the EC members was not knowing. I mean, there is a kind of academic emergency in JNU, and there is a consistent demand from the students of JNU from last 3 years that this VC should be changed in JNU. And if you know, if this model is implemented in JNU, 40% of the students in JNU, there will be a drastic dropout in the JNU. And whatever now this new rollback, it is a complete malicious lie. It is a complete malicious lie by this BJP and RSS backed Vice Chancellor.
I just hope as of this moment, Ajaz, Aishi as well as Deshratan Nigam, that someone in the administration, someone in the government or dispensation is listening to you. I feel that an amicable solution is very, very important. I'm sure there can be a meeting ground. I'm pretty sure we only have to try and come down from very, very tough positions that are taken on both sides. Thank you, all of you all, for joining us on story number 2.